I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Before we get started with no half-step and hockey coverage, first let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show and what you're good and educated about the show. You can click on that merchandise tab, take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt and all of the gimmicks you come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck. Socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, makes no difference to the Renegades of Puck. The best way to say it is that we've sold out so that you can buy in. Social media is of critical importance to this operation, so here's how you can jump in the trenches with the Renegades of Puck. You can find us on Instagram and X. You can also find us on Threads and Facebook. So please, whatever it is that you prefer as far as social media participation goes, please help us out on those platforms. It doesn't cost you a thing. It also takes you barely a second to do, and it goes a long way to helping us out. Much more than the time it takes to put in to doing that. So please support us on social media if you can. YouTube channel. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel. That is where we are doing our business nowadays. So we would appreciate any and all support that we can get over there. We have multiple different feeds on our YouTube channel highlighting many different things. So please check it out. If it's going on in the hockey landscape of the Tennessee area, we are more than likely covering it. So please, again, check out our YouTube channel today. If you'd like to support the show with a donation or you'd like to leave a virtual tip, check out the virtual tip jar that is sitting right over here on the edge of the desk at the bunker. You can scan that QR code or you can just go to Venmo and you can search out the Renegades of Puck. Every donation goes directly to the Renegades of Puck and it goes a long way to helping us. And right now, trying to build up a scholarship, if you will, for a new player to join the Renegades of Puck. So if you have a couple of dollars to spare towards the hockey club operations, we sure could use a little bit of support right now. So if you don't mind, send that over, hit the virtual tip jar anytime it's over there during the entirety of the show. You can donate at any time you like. Listen, I know it's time for the No Half Step and Hockey coverage, so let me deliver the goods. It's time for operation number 920. That is right, it is already show number 920. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators currently find themselves in 7th place in the Central Division after 9 games skated. They have a record of 3-5-1. 7 points has them 9 points behind the first place Winnipeg Jets on home ice, which is where the Predators' next game will take place. They have a record of 2-4-0. They've scored 23 goals this season. They've given up 31 goals against. That's a goal differential of -8. After the Predators wrap up this 1-game, no, not 1-game homestand, 3-game homestand. They've been yo-yoing back and forth on home and road lately so much that I forgot that they actually stay in one place more than a game. They'll have 3 consecutive games at home on this homestand. So after this game against the Edmonton Oilers, Saturday versus Colorado, Monday versus LA, then back on the road for an immediate back-to-back on the 6th of November at Washington, the 7th of November at Florida, and then back home on the 9th of November versus the Utah Hockey Club. The first time we will see the newly rebranded Arizona Coyotes Utah Hockey Club at Bridgestone Arena. Now, the Central Division itself, 9 and 10 games, is mostly what's been played by all of the teams. So let's update you on how the Central is going so far. It is the Winnipeg Jets with a record of 8-1, finally taking their first loss after starting the season 8-0. They've got 16 points, top of the division. The Dallas Stars are in second place with 14 points. The Minnesota Wild have 12. St. Louis and Colorado and the Utah Hockey Club all with 10 points, jumbled up 4th through 6th. Then you'll find the Nashville Predators at 7th, and the Blackhawks are in 8th place, also with 7 points, though. The Nashville Predators and Edmonton Oilers have played 1 time already this season. They'll play 1 more time after this meeting. That's a 3-game matchup for the season. It was back on October the 17th when the Nashville Predators fell at Bridgestone Arena to the Edmonton Oilers by a score of 4-2. UC Saros took the loss, going 32 out of 35. It was Forsberg and Marchessault scoring the goals for the Nashville Predators. Pickard got the win in net for the Edmonton Oilers, 25 out of 27. And of course, you expect that it was McDavid and Draisaitl that killed the Predators in this one, or it was Kulak that scored 2 goals against the Preds. The Preds were just simply not there yet at this moment in time. So Kulak with 2 goals led the way offensively, but McDavid did chip in a goal. Skinner did also chip in a goal. These 2 teams will meet again and close out the regular season series on November the 14th when the Predators make their one and only trip of the regular season into Edmonton. Now, this Edmonton Oilers team so far in the season, 4-5-1. They have 9 points. That's 6th overall in the Pacific Division. They started slow last season, did not deter them from nearly making it all the way to the finish there. 2-2 is their road record, 22 goals for, 35 goals against, goal differential -13. All of this seems so familiar to what the Oilers started with last season. It's almost bizarre to see them in this same type of position again. Now, the most recent 5 stretch of games for this Oilers team, back on the 19th of October, was a 4-1 loss at the Dallas Stars. On the 22nd of October, 3-2 overtime loss versus the Carolina Hurricanes. On the 25th of October, a 4-0 win versus the Pittsburgh Penguins. On the 27th, a 3-2 overtime win at the Detroit Red Wings. And most recently, on the 28th of October, a 6-1 loss at the Columbus Blue Jackets. Skinner in net takes the loss, 19 of 25 were his numbers. Now, the most critical piece of information coming out of that is Connor McDavid, injured, returned back to Edmonton for evaluation, is not going to be available for this game against the Nashville Predators at Bridgestone Arena. Now, taking a look inside the numbers in the NHL rankings, the Predators are at 2.56 goals per game, which is 28th overall in the league, and you think that's got to be worse than the Edmonton Oilers, but no, I actually gave you the leading candidate in the statistical metric first at 28th. The Predators are 4 spots ahead of the Edmonton Oilers at 2.20 per game for goals. That's 32nd overall, and again, this seems exactly like it did last year, so these numbers almost seem a little bit ridiculous because the Oilers are going to turn it around and they're going to make a run, but right now, this is the statistics for where we are at 10 games into the season. Goals against Nashville Predators giving up 3.44 per game. That's still such a high number. 22nd overall in the NHL, while the Oilers are giving up 3.50 per game. That's 23rd. The goals against across the board in the league is so far up this season. It's pretty incredible to look at. 35.9 shots on goal for the Nashville Predators is number 1 overall in the NHL, and they've continued with this massive shot volume on the early part of the season. The Edmonton Oilers not far behind at 34.3 shots on goal per game. That's 3rd best in the NHL. So the 1st versus 3rd in shots on goal, and then in the shots against category, another top 10 matchup right here. The Predators 28.2 shots against per game is 10th in the league, while Edmonton is only giving up 26.1 shots against per game. That's 4th best in the league. So again, top 10 matchup in shots for and shots against between these two teams. On the special teams, a little bit of a different story. And again, for the Oilers, these early season numbers just don't seem to make a whole lot of sense when you see that their power play is only converting at 13.8%. That's 27th in the NHL. 4 conversions out of 29 opportunities. The Predators at 18.2%. A little bit better. 18th in the league. They're at least in the top 2/3. 6 conversions out of 33 opportunities. Now, when it comes to the penalty kill, these two teams could not be more polar opposite. The Nashville Predators have the best penalty kill in the NHL, 93.1% kill rate. They've given up 2 power play goals against the season. That is also tied for 1st in the league, while the Edmonton Oilers have kill rate of 62.1%. That's 32nd in the league. They've given up a massive 11 power play goals against this season. Now, when it comes to each individual team and their scoring leaders, a lot of statistics here to go over. The Edmonton Oilers are piling up points as they typically do. Draisaitl leads the way so far, 6 goals and 4 assists for 10 points. Connor McDavid, 3 and 7 for 10. Matthias Ekholm for Nashville per 2 goals and 6 assists for 8 points. Off to a really good start for Matthias right there. Bouchard's at 3 and 3 for 6. Skinner's at 2 and 2 for 4. Over on the Nashville Predators side of things, the home side of the stats ledger, Philip Forsberg's got 4 goals and 4 assists for 8 points. O'Reilly's got 3 goals and 5 assists for 8 points. Marchessault's at 2 and 4 for 6 and seeming to be gaining some consistency and confidence in his game. Brady Shea also at 2 and 4 for 6. And Gus Nyquist really making a strong case for his game in this first 9 games of the season with 3 goals and 2 assists. Second on the team in goals, tied with O'Reilly with 3. Now, anticipated net minors, each of these teams with an extra day off. So they could shuffle things. Remember, it was Pickard picking up the victory against the Predators in the first meeting of the season. Pickard on the season, a record of 2-1, a goals against of 2.91, a save percentage of 8.57. Skinner, the most recent game played, took the loss against the Columbus Blue Jackets on the season as a record of 2-4-1, 3.51 goals against 8.72 save percentage. UC Saros' updated statistics after the Tampa Bay game, 2-4-1 on the season is his record, 2.75 goals against average, looking a whole hell of a lot better on 905 save percentage, and he does have one shutout on the season so far. That's got you all set up for the Nashville Predators versus the Edmonton Oilers on Halloween night at Bridgestone Arena. I'm sure it's going to be fun. I hope the hockey is good, and I hope the Nashville Predators find themselves more competitive than they have in the previous couple of seasons against this Edmonton Oilers team. They are one of the better teams in the Western Conference, and if the Predators want to excel and exceed their expectations and move on up to the top echelon of the Western Conference, the Edmonton Oilers are one of the teams they're going to have to consistently play better against and start to show some results. It's not the Pecorine days anymore between the Nashville Predators and the Edmonton Oilers. That's got you all set for that game. We got to go back and talk about the Predators and the Tampa Bay Lightning. It's the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. It's coming up next, right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports Full Game Recap. We go all the way back to October the 28th of the year 2024 when the Nashville Predators were in Tampa Bay to face off on the Lightning on Steven Stamkos' return night. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines defensemen in the following ways: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Marchessault. Stamkos, Novak, and Nyquist, Jankowski, Sissons, Evangelista, LaRue, McCarron, and Smith make up your offensive lines. Your defensive pairings are Yossi and Faber, Luzon and Carrier, Shea and Shen. UC Saros gets the start in net. We are 2 minutes and 36 seconds into the first period when UC Saros comes up with a save on Lilleberg's jam at the top of the crease. First shot on goal. Tough save for UC Saros, already doing the work. Only 8 seconds later, Saros comes up with another save on Glendening at 4:48 of the first period. Vasilevsky comes up with a save on Dante Fabro. First shot on goal of the game for the Nashville Predators. At the 5:32 mark of the first, Saros comes with a save on Victor Hedman. 7:27. Saros comes up with a save on Nikita Kucherov. At the 8:13 mark of the first period, it's Vasilevsky coming with a save on Luke Evangelista, plus the follow-up by Yossi. By far the best chance of the period for either team. At 9:49 of the first period, it is Point picking up his 6th goal of the season, putting Tampa Bay on top 1-0. The move to the middle on Yossi, cutting to the slot, absolutely eludes the defender, and also UC Saros putting the puck in for his 6th goal of the season. 12:22 mark of the first period. It's Sissons off to the box, first penalty of the game. 2 minutes for slashing. 0 shots on goal given up by the Nashville Predators. Penalty kill, a strong penalty kill, but if you're looking at it from the other side, maybe you say a sloppy power play. At 15:34 of the first period, it's Asimont off to the box. 2 minutes for tripping on Tommy Novak. This puts the Predators on the power play for the first time in this game when Vasilevsky has to make a save on Jonathan Marchessault. Forsberg then picks up a penalty. 2 minutes for holding, preventing a scoring chance going the other way. This leads to a 4-on-4 scenario for 46 seconds. Sorelli was the shorthanded chance that earned that power play eventually for the Tampa Bay Lightning. UC Saros comes with a save on Paul between the legs attempt off of the rush. Really, really tricky save right here. But UC Saros comes up big with the 18:56 mark of the first period. UC Saros comes up with a save on Gensel at 19:24 of the first period. It's Chafee picking up his 3rd goal of the season. He just absolutely put on the Jets and blew by the Preds D and Philip Forsberg for a partial breakaway. 2-0 Tampa Bay here. Now at the end of the first period, 3rd consecutive game where the Predators have fallen down by 2 goals early. 11 shots on goal for Tampa Bay in the first period, 9 for the Nashville Predators. In the clean sheet and the start of the second period, we're a minute and 16 seconds in, and Vasilevsky coming with a save on Stamkos for the first save of the second. At the 2-minute mark, Vasilevsky comes with a save on Philip Forsberg at 2:12. It appears Kucherov puts the puck in the net. No, he did put the puck in the net, but we rewind quite a bit and we find a challenge for offsides. Ultimately, this works out to be a no-goal situation. So for the second consecutive game, 3rd consecutive game, the Preds find themselves down 2. Second consecutive game, they're down 2. Then the third goal is scored, and it's challenged for offsides and taken off of the board. So the Nashville Predators catch their first break of this game. On the following shift, it is LaRue coming up with the wrecking ball shift. 3 total hits on the shift, trying to change the energy and the momentum. We'll see how that develops. 6:50 of the second period. Now UC Saros comes with a save on Atkinson at the 8:56 mark of the second period. It's Mosher off the box. 2 minutes for interference on Luke Evangelista. Vasilevsky comes with a save on Philip Forsberg. Then Vasilevsky comes with another save on Steven Stamkos, but it will be O'Reilly cashing in with his third goal of the season. He stopped the puck with his skate and spins around while falling down, whips the puck into the net to get the Preds on the board for the first time in this game. Tampa Bay still maintains a 1-goal lead, score now 2-1 in favor of the Bolts. 12:02 of the second period. It's Vasilevsky coming with a save on Yossi at 13:04. Mosher off to the box again. 2 minutes for high sticking on Steven Stamkos. Vasilevsky, a big save on Tommy Novak, then a big save on Colton Sissons. The power play unit shifted just seconds after those 2 scoring opportunities back to the first unit. The first unit would do absolutely nothing the remainder of the way. 17:24 of the second period. Now Saros coming up with a save on Atkinson at close range with the kick out at the post. A really strong save right here at the 18:40 mark of the second. It's Nyquist with his third of the season. Some incredible transition by the Nashville Predators right here. The pass from Shea in his own defensive zone all the way up to Stamkos, and then the slide over to Nyquist, who continued with the Jets, then puts the puck into the net, tying the game up 2 apiece. Nyquist is just showing what he can really do when he gets moving in transition and gets the skates going. Nyquist's third goal of the season. Again, he continues to make the case to get those additional minutes back. Tied hockey game now. We found ourselves in the 1933 mark of the second period. And it's UC Saros coming up with a save on point at the 1953 mark of the second period. It's Hedman off the box. 2 minutes for hooking on Philip Forsberg. This puts the Nashville Predators on the power play. We'll just say that carries over for a minute 53 into the second period. So at the end of the second period, we have a tied hockey game at 2 apiece. The Nashville Predators now out shooting Tampa Bay 23-15. So the Predators with 9 shots on goal at the end of the first, now 23, so 14 shots on goal in the second period. The Tampa Bay Lightning only 4 shots on goal, so the Predators have completely flipped this game around again, just like they've managed to do the previous 2 games. We're into the third period. The Predators are still on that power play. It's carryover of 153, and Vasilevsky back to work, coming with a save on Nyquist, then another save on Stamkos, and finally another save on Tommy Novak. Preds with good zone time, good pressure, but not selfish enough on this one, and Vasilevsky is able to hold the line. We flip to the backside of the sheet and continue on in the third period. Back to 5-on-5 hockey. 2:27 of the third period. Saros comes up with a save on Gensel at the 3:24 mark. Vasilevsky comes up with a save on Steven Stamkos at 5:34 of the third period. LaRue's off the box. 2 minutes for tripping on Perbix. That's LaRue's first penalty of his NHL career, and he knew it. Went straight to the box without so much as even a complaint. Saros comes up with a save on Gensel's deflection, plus the follow-up at close range. This was a really good scoring opportunity for the Tampa Bay Lightning. Then Saros comes up with a save on Kucherov at the 10:45 mark of the third period. Saros comes up with a save on Perbix at the 11:56 mark of the third period. Vasilevsky comes up with a save on Steven Stamkos. 12:23. Saros comes up with a save on Sorelli, plus the follow-up. An incredible save at the post with the stretched out pad right there. UC Saros holding the line here in this tie game. At 13:58 of the third period, it's Vasilevsky coming with a save on Luke Evangelista's deflection. 16:41 now. Saros comes up with a save on Gigeronson's puck squeaks through, but the whistle benefits the Predators as the referee does award the Predators a whistle while there is a loose puck behind their netminder. It looked like the Preds defense was going to get there first anyway, but it's still a break. 17:07 of the third period now. Vasilevsky comes with a save on Steven Stamkos at 17:49 of the third. Vasilevsky comes with a save on the captain Roman Yossi's long shot, plus the follow-up long shot again by Roman Yossi, trying to break the tie here late in this game. In 1947, Saros one more save in regulation, a save on Esimont. We go to the overtime session at the end of regulation. The Predators outshoot the Tampa Bay Lightning 37-25. We are 1 minute and 38 seconds now into the 3-on-3 overtime session, and it is Steven Stamkos on Steven Stamkos return night, hitting the post. The storybook ending eludes the Nashville Predators right here on this first shift of overtime. 146 of the OT session. Saros comes with a save on Kucherov off of the rush. And at 3:22 of the overtime session, it is Paul with his third goal of the season. Ends up being a tap-in goal after Forsberg's turnover. The Lightning quickly turn things around, transition position, go on the offense, and end this game, winning it 3-2 in overtime. The Nashville Predators, though, do earn themselves a point after finding themselves down by 2 early in this game. The Predators do outshoot Tampa Bay 37-27 and continue on with that league-leading shots per game metric above their own average right there at 37 in this game, averaging 35.9 typically per game. But the Predators do fall in this game. Their winning streak comes to an end, but the Preds' point streak does continue, and after starting the season 0-5 with 0 points, the Predators have now managed to pick up at least 1 point in their last 4 games, and now they'll head back home to face off against the Edmonton Oilers. That's the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We took you down to Tampa. Now we'll come on back home to the bunker, and we'll break this game down. Full analysis, box score, and more coming up next right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in Renegades of Puck podcast. That was the Rebirth Sports full game recap. Now let's talk about some analysis of that game. UC Saros won 24 out of 27. Strong overall game. Helped his team earn a point, and the third period was definitely a significant testing point that he was able to pass some really big-time saves, close range, traffic in front, all kinds of things, chaos, mayhem going on around him. And the Tampa Bay Lightning are a team that has a pedigree of finding ways to win, and the goaltending job by UC Saros, especially late in the third period, I thought was really, really good and strong. Steven Stamkos night, if you will. The return of Steven Stamkos to Tampa Bay for the first time ever playing against Tampa Bay as a visiting NHL player. He comes away with 2 assists going into this game, only had 1 point, snake bitten, lacking confidence, a little frustration in this game, a lot of emotions, and I said it would electrify Steven Stamkos, and I feel that it did. Best he's looked so far. He gets 2 assists in this one. Also hits the post in the overtime. The storybook ending eludes him by just about an inch right there, but that's what's been happening so far to Steven Stamkos ever since he joined the Nashville Predators. First multi-point game of the season with the Nashville Predators. And again, it was a great night for Steven Stamkos. Highly emotional, and I would say if you're a Tampa Bay Lightning fan, you probably got everything you wanted out of that one. You got to see Steven Stamkos return. You got to see him pick up a couple of points, but it didn't hurt the home team, and you also got to enjoy the home team picking up the victory there. Really good hockey game is what you got to see. So Steven Stamkos with 2 assists was my first point of emphasis as the skaters portion of the analysis. What can you say about O'Reilly? He picks up another goal in this game, 3 shots on goal, 21-31 time on ice. It's just the jam. It's always the jam with this guy. It's always the effort. He just leads by example, and you can just tell that the other players feed off of Ryan O'Reilly. Love watching him go to the good hard areas. Love watching this guy earn a greasy goal, and that's exactly what he did right here. Stops the puck with his skate, whips it around while falling down, ends up beating Vasilevsky, picks up a critical goal for this Nashville Predators team, and O'Reilly just continues doing night in and night out what he does best, bringing effort out there on the ice. I am extremely excited to see how Ryan O'Reilly inspires the future generation that he is playing alongside of right now. Novak, Evangelista, Fabro, of course, the other younger players on this Preds lineup. We've talked about that before, how O'Reilly is teaching the future of this franchise how to be the best competitors that they can be. Nyquist continues to make the case to get back his lost minutes. Now listen, those lost minutes are going to be nearly impossible for him to regain. We're talking about first unit power play minutes. Now that Stamkos and Marchessault are here, it is unlikely that Nyquist is going to get that back, but Nyquist is not sulking whatsoever. He might be reduced in his ice time out there throughout the game, but he is making the best of it. Third goal of the season, he picks up one in this one, and just another strong play off the rush. As you watch that whole play unfold, if you go back and watch it, the Predators had good control. Seemed like they were possibly going to pop one, but then they totally lost possession of it. It gets dumped down to the defensive end. Shea grabs it immediately up to Stamkos, over to Nyquist. Nyquist with jets right through the middle and into the net. The transition and the rush play of Gus Nyquist so far early in the season is where all of his scoring attempts are coming from. He's hit the post off the rush a couple of times. He has just been exceptional, and he's been really using his great skating ability and his speed to make things happen out there. I would like to see that continue. Nyquist is fighting. He's fighting for his ice time out there. He's earning his ice time. I really appreciate it. I like watching Nyquist. Last year, I coined him as the player you didn't know you were going to fall in love with, and maybe you didn't want to, but over the course of last season and a career year, he earned a hell of a lot of fans here in the Nashville area, and he continues doing so. Luke Evangelista, how can you not point out his performance in this game, even though the Predators only pick up a point and Luke does not register a point? 5 shots on goal, also earns a power play for his team. 11-13 in total time on ice. Noticeable effort, noticeable amount of shots on goal for such limited time on ice. Only 11-13 out there. Luke Evangelista, another player trying to force his way into the line. The veterans seem to get the benefit of the doubt, while the young guys don't seem to necessarily catch the breaks with the ice time. Luke Evangelista trying to force his way into some more shifts, some more minutes. A game like that's going to go a long way with the coaching staff. I'm sure with the extra day off, reviewing each and every shift and reviewing the tape as the coaching staff does, they had to notice that Luke Evangelista was an impact player throughout this game. I just want to mention just the steadiest, most professional Alex Carrier out there on the rink. 3 shots on goal in this game, 4 blocked shots, 3 hits delivered, 22-36 of total time on ice skated, and 258 of that was penalty kill time on ice. Alex Carrier is out there doing great work for this Nashville Predators team. He's been one of the most consistent and stable defensemen since the puck drop on the season, and I think Alex Carrier deserves more credit than he gets talked about, especially even in the home market here. It doesn't seem like Alex Carrier is a very underappreciated player, and he's a very, very solid defenseman out there on the rink. Again, everything across his stat line in this game just completely solid out there, doing the job, and as big part of that number 1 rated penalty kill unit in the NHL. That's going to do it for the analysis portion of things. Let's hear from our good friend Stripe Digital Solutions. Let's come back. Let's talk about the good cold hard numbers known as the box score, and then let's talk Steven Stamkos night as the close to this show. It's operation number 920. It's the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier, and we'll be back right after this. The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions. Welcome back in Renegades of Puck podcast. The good cold hard numbers known as the box score. They reveal much. Nyquist, O'Reilly score the goals for the Nashville Predators in this game. When it comes to assists, Steven Stamkos leads the way with 2. Brady Shea also chips in with another assist. And then it is Marchessault picking up another assist as well. Shots on goal found this statistical metric to be revealing. The captain, Romagnosi, leads the way with 6. Steven Stamkos also with 6, one of his higher totals so far this season. Luke Evangelista with 5 on the night, and Ryan O'Reilly with 3, as well as Alex Carrier with 3. When it comes to block shots, 4 was the highest number, and it was a trio of Predators to block 4 shots, all of them on the defensive side of things. Alex Carrier, Jeremy Lauzon, and Luke Shen. Also some other critical shot blocks and stick checks that helped the Nashville Predators secure a point in this game, especially note 1 by Tommy Novak. When it comes to the physical component of things, Lauzon putting up a snowman, the number 8 in the hits column. After that, 4 was the next high, and that is Luke Shen, and then also LaRue, and then 3 hits by McCarron, also by Smith, and by Alex Carey. Nashville Predators bringing a good physical component and element to this game. When it comes to the time on ice, leaders, 21-31 was your time on ice leader overall for the forwards, and that was Ryan O'Reilly. 21-02 for Steven Stamkos, and 20 minutes even for Philip Forsberg. On the defensive side of things, always a bit of a different story. The captain, Roman Josi, usually leads the way, and he's done it again by quite a bit here. 28-22, that's right, 28 minutes, 22 seconds for the captain, Roman Josi, playing in all scenarios out there on the rink. 22-36 for Alex Carrier is your second most. 20-59 for Lauzon is your third most of the defensemen out there on the rink. When it comes to the power play and power play time on ice leaders, that power play went 1 for 4 in this game. It was O'Reilly picking up the goal. O'Reilly also putting up 4 minutes and 34 seconds on the power play. 4:33 for Forsberg, 4:32 for Marchessault. But catch this one, 5:48 power play time on ice for Steven Stamkos' game. 5:48, by far the leader, even over Roman Josi at 4:47. The penalty kill, perfect in this game. Continues to be the number 1 overall penalty kill unit in the NHL. 3 for 3 in this game. Credit to those of the players that did the work out there. 3:35 time on ice for Cole Smith, and 2:54 shorthanded time on ice for Michael McCarron. 3:01 for Jeremy Lauzon, 2:58 for Alex Carrier. Again, the penalty kill unit top notch in the NHL, and another perfect performance in this game. Face-off winning percentage continues to be strong for the Predators this season. This one breaks even at 50, but even still, the Predators have been above 50 in many games this season, so 50% is actually one of the lowest numbers that they've had. They've been on top of that number many of the games they've played. 33 hits is a nice number. 21 block shots, pretty good, most of those coming by the defense. 1 takeaway, 13 giveaways. It was kind of weird. There was 1 takeaway for each team, so I'm not sure if somebody just didn't push that button at any point in time, but 13 giveaways, that's a really big disparity again for the Predators. I don't like the number of giveaways, and they also didn't secure the extra point in overtime when they had the chance to do so. UC Saros in net goes 24 out of 27, 3 goals against an 8.89 save percentage in game, 19 even strength saves, 4 power play saves. The stat line doesn't seem great, but the overall performance, watching it, the timeliness of the save, the big time moments of saves, Saros had a better game than the stat line may indicate, and is a big reason why the Predators earned a point coming out of this game. All right, let's close things out by talking about Steven Stamkos night. It was awesome. Listen, ESPN, I give you guys I'm going to say it just plain. I give you guys a lot of shit along the way for your broadcasting and your broadcasting techniques and the deficiencies that they have from time to time, but I want to give you credit. I thought that was cool. That was almost like playoff big, the way you gave us a look in for almost 40 minutes, the entire warm-up, the entire pregame presentation, nonstop cutaways, interviews. I watched every second of it because I wanted to be a part of the presentation, a part of the experience, and frankly, I was appreciative of Espen giving us that opportunity. So stuck with that thing the whole way, and it starts to feel a little bit repetitive whenever you watch 40 minutes of pregame for anything, but I thought you did a great job, and it was great that you featured the Predators in such a great way, and Predators Tampa Bay, it's a great matchup. Let's go ahead and just book that one for a 7-game series at the end of the season. I think it'll be a lot of fun. You guys seem to really enjoy talking about the two teams against each other. It was a really good first game of the season. They'll play one more time this season. Let's do it. But Steven Stamkos night, it was fun. It was emotional. It felt bigger than an October regular season game. It really did. And ESPN was a big reason why it was that, and the Tampa Bay organization, a big reason why it was like that. Holding through the commercial break and showing the entire Steven Stamkos tribute video, there was a lot of good stuff that happened. ESPN did a really good job, and while I'm usually pretty pretty angry about their coverage and a lot of the decisions that they make. You got to give them credit. You got to give them stick taps on this one. They did a good job, and Steven Stamkos also did a good job. He is so well loved down in Tampa Bay and always will be. And no matter what he accomplishes as a Nashville Predator, he'll probably always be remembered as a Tampa Bay Lightning player, and he will probably end up back in the Tampa Bay area with his family. But I don't know. Nashville has that gravitational pull on players when they come here. They seem to want to stay forever. I mean, when you run into J.P. Dumont at Moe's and Franklin still to this day, it's pretty surreal to think that a player like J.P. Dumont stayed in Nashville and so many of the other players stay here. So who knows? Maybe Stamkos stays here, but he'll always be welcome in Tampa. That was obvious. It was emotional. It was fun. It felt bigger than a regular season game in October. The gameplay itself, while the first period was putrid for the Preds, got a lot better in the second and third, highly competitive. That overtime was pretty fantastic. That's good hockey right there. Love it. Hopefully the Nashville Predators can keep it up against the Edmonton Oilers moving forward. That's going to do it for operation number 920. Appreciate your patience on this one. Had a little bit of a health issue earlier in the week, but now we're back running full speed ahead, as you can probably tell. And I look forward to betting back in the trenches and do it again. Expect to hear from Zach McCann on episode number 921. We're going to get him in the bunker. We're going to get his opinion. He's got some things he wants to get off of his chest, so we'll get him dialed up. We'll record a little segment with him, and we'll get that out for you on the next episode after the Edmonton game. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. I can't tell you how much I appreciate your viewership, appreciate your time, and the most important thing of all, and I think about this a lot, I appreciate you. Stick taps, love, and respect.